Hello and welcome. This is a Nissan Primera P10 back from the year 1995, and here are some energy tips through my Master Science degree in the energy markets from the Athens Economic University Business. We're going to talk about some general energy tips, hints, directives and guidances for energy saving and energy economy, furtherly related to the Primera P10 and procurably for every vehicle. Because there is a variance in the global markets pricings all over the world, from the United States to the Middle East to Russia, the producing countries, mainly, especially with the political games, the pricing is unpredictable. It cannot be contained, cannot be forecasted. So whenever there is, according to the calculus of my University of Athens Economy Business, whenever there is a period of more than 6 to 7 days of more or less 5% variation in the price of gas, you should be unloading the car, you should be unloading fuel to the car, pumping fuel to the car, gas, because the period of 6 to 7 days is procuringly the stable space-time into which you can rely on the stability of the prices. So there is also a periodical, a repeatable sequence to the prices that occurs every 5 weeks, according to the latest statistics. So if you had a price of, let's say, 2.3 euros per liter in the start of November, this price probably is repeatable within 5 weeks, within the second week of December, forecasting now. According to the statistics, repetence phenomenon pricing values of gas and oil, etc. So whenever we detect in the gas stations a price that maintains a very small variance of 5% for a period of 6 to 7 days, we should be following the pattern of the price, and we should be buying the particular quantity of fuel. Whenever there is tensive variance of the prices, meaning that the prices are changeable, are changing per 2 days, per 3 days, it is more unpredictable to maintain a stable price, because the elaborate fluctuations upwards and downwards of the price can be bigger in a tentative period of change of the price. So we should be awaiting for a period of 5, 6, 7 days, a week, for the prices to maintain a same level of stability, and then to choose the actual buying of the fuel. Of course, we have a capability, especially to the modern cars that are circumventing over 100 horsepower. They have engines that produce around 100 horsepower. It's more logical and it's more, let's say, beneficial to pump gas of a 95 octanes fuel inhalement, because to the 100 octanes of fuel quantity, the distance of the value, the addition to the value, to the cost, is greater than the procuring performance of the car with the 95 octanes. What I mean about this: if you have a 100 octane gas in your car, the car is going to be more productive, more efficient, and more capable to drive, to move. Meaning that you will be needing less fuel per unit of time for you to move, to drive. Though, if we select 95 octanes, even though per unit of time the efficiency of the car is going to be less productive, you will have to pump more the gas, to press the gas more. In the lengthial, in the procuring total period of the evaluation of the cost, it proves that the 95 octanes, even though they have less production, less efficiency, they are more economical, they are more, let's say, beneficial economically, instead of comparing to the 100 octanes fuel injection to the car. And of course there are variations from gas station to gas station, and overall from company to company. For instance, Shell, BP, in Greece, Echo, Avin, etc. They have variations in prices. And a little tick of politics: if you are detecting that a gas station is pricing extremely low, the gas price, you should be suspecting it about bad quality of the fuel. As an example, moving away from the logistics of the university and the science, we also have an Audi A4, and as you can see here we have a Toyota Yaris of 2018. The Audi A4 is of 2005, the B7. Opportunistically, because there weren't a queue in the gas station, we had pumped gas into the Audi and the Yaris to save time, because there were no clients at the time when we entered the gas station, of a not good make. I think it was jet oil. So because it had 92 octanes, a very low capacity of fuel performance, the cars were unable to drive. The cars were stopping in the middle of the driving, and we had very big problems of driving the car to its final destination. So whenever you see that, and the price of that gas station was very low, so whenever you see a ridiculously low price to the gas station, you have to be suspectful and suspicious of an actual deception or fraud. And if you want a statistical overview of the gas prices, I think in Greece, at least in Greece, the variation of the lowest to the highest cost of pricing of the fuel is depending between 15 to 19.6%, according to the latest 10 years of statistics, as a mid-average of the fluctuation. Now, for the case of our Primera, which is a 1995 version of engine build-up, a design of the 90s engine. Even though it has it has 16 valves, it has chronicle coordination of the valves, etc. It's a modern engine compared to even to the modern standards, to the present standards. The Primera has approximately a fuel tank of 70 liters. The good advice is that don't you ever don't fulfill the tank with all of the tank with gas. For many reasons. One of the reasons is that if the gas maintains position in the tank, stays in the tank for a long period of time, it will lose its vibrancy, it will lose its efficiency, its productivity, performance to the engine use, by the engine use. So we are maintaining a load of 45, 50, 55 liters per pumping sequence into the car. Fuel, putting fuel in the car, pumping fuel in the car, and we are driving the car maintainingly at around 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs, rounds per minute. A work of the engine between 2,000 RPMs and 3,000 RPMs is the most sufficient, capable and capacitating, not only for a decent driving and kinetics of the car, but also fuel economy. If we are rating the car into engine performance over 3,000 RPMs, 4,000, 5,000 in some, let's say, peaks, we'll be losing at around 13 to 30% of the fuel capacity, of the fuel storage. Faster, we will be decumulating the fuel, the quantity of the fuel, faster than a drive of 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs limitation, integrality. It is a hint that for saving fuel and driving economically, don't use sequentially and frequently the neutral in the gearbox. For instance, when we're approaching a red light, a stopped car in front of us, most of the times we are putting neutral. This is wrong. This is a wrong response for the driving necessity, because once upon you bring the neutral to the gearbox, the engine drives into, as we say in benchmarks, into the air, in no engagement to the wheels. So the fuel consumption becomes irrelevant to the kinetics of the car. So in this case, the engine burns more fuel in neutral gearbox than in an engaging gear, deaccelerating, stopping the car. It is for the electricity capacity of the battery. Even not the radio, you should not be working during a stop without the engine working. Even the electrician, for instance, that we have now changed the battery to the Primera, a Varta battery, he told us that even the flashlights of the alarm, they are consuming energy from the battery. If it's of course in a low capacity, the electrical storage in the battery, if it has been used for many years. This for the electricity case, the electrical case. Yes. Now, for the modern cars, and I assume that the Primera is considered to be a modern car because it had a very excessive and excelled technology even by the 90s. We can see that its engine is comparable to the fuel consumption and the performance of modern cars of 2015, 2020. consumption of fuel in the Primera is at around 8.5 to 10.1 liters per 100 kilometers. It's not a bad ratio, and it depends on the driving performance, on the driving mode. Mostly the driving in the big highways and in the national highway that you maintain a specific RPM ratio is more convenient for economical driving rather than driving into the city where you have fluctuations up and down of the RPMs. Whenever you drive in the highway, in the big avenue, you have maintainingly the same RPM, 2000, 3000, 3500 and so on. This stability in the RPM counter promotes less fuel consumption. If you have big fluctuations, greatnesses and lower depeces in your RPMs, through the differentiated reality of the fuel consumption, the car will be burning more. Statistically, this is proved. I would say about the driving, the best layer is the right one. That you cannot be pressed by the rear drivers in the left lane, the left layer, for you to drive fast. At the right side of the road, you can go with 40, 50, 60 kilometers per hour. If you have a 3 layers road, avenue or highway, choose the middle one, because not only kinetically you can choose wherever to go, leftwards or rightwards, to turn or to accelerate, but also the middle lane, the middle layer, is statistically proved the more economical for the driving. Because, for instance, if you drive to the right one, you will have to accelerate more frequently than if you are in the middle one, because other cars will be turning ahead of you, you'll have to stop, you'll have to deaccelerate and so on. So the best route, the best layer for driving is the middle one. We should be always concerned about the state of the engine, with good maintenance, periodical maintenance per 1 year, per 15,000 kilometers, so that the engine will not lose any oil, will not have a degraded oil, the filter oil will be in a good state, cleaning in a clean formation, etc. And overall, all the surrounding parametrical instruments of the engine, they must be in the best state for the engine to perform efficiently, economically and productively, workably. For instance, for this example, for this car's example, we had pumped fuel 40 kilometers ago, and the indicator of the gas quantity, the gas level, it was nearing 1 second, half. Was less than 1/2, but through the 40 kilometers we have traversed, it has fallen down the fuel quantity by about a 20th of the quantity of the gas, meaning that we have burned in the 40 kilometers at around 3.8, 3.9 or more circularly 4 liters for the 40 kilometers. But this depends on the driving mode. If you drive long distances, if you drive in the city, if you drive with many stops and accelerations and so on. Okay, and always, finally, to conclude our meeting for this session, allow me to zoom out. Always and for always, choose for gas buyings, for pumping gas to your car, a gas station that it is near to your estate, near to your residence, and that you have verified that the gas station is decent, that the gas station is supporting and complying to economical prices and a good quality of the gas. It is we're dependent on the quality and of the cost of the fuel. So choose a gas station near to your residence, which is compliable to maintain fair prices and good quality of fuel. Listen to recommendations, listen to suggestions, but mainly do not choose random gas buying from various gas stations. Maintain a secure point, a secure station for your fuel pumping. Okay. And to conclude with an overview of the vehicle. This has been some energy tips for the Nissan Primera P10. Thank you very much.